Mexico, oil keeps pouring out of a hole a mile below the surface of the water. An attempt to stop it failed today. That large steel box intended to cover a broken pipe fell victim to high pressure and frigid temperatures. BP said it wasn't giving up on that dome, but admitted the problem was bigger than they expected.
Well, I wouldn't say it's failed yet. What I would say is what we attempted to do last night didn't work because these hydrates plugged up the top of the dome. What we're currently doing and expect it'll probably take the next 48 hours or so is seeing, is there a way to overcome this problem? We did anticipate hydrates being a problem, but not this significant.
And David Mattingly joins us live from Venice, Louisiana. David, tell us, what is he talking about? That they're hydrates? What exactly are hydrates, and exactly what went wrong?
These hydrates are crystals. They're sort of like ice crystals. They're formed when gas under pressure down there at the bottom of the ocean and the cold water mix together. They create sort of a slush. They were expecting this to be a problem when they connected that big tube to this containment vessel, which they haven't been able to do yet. But instead, these things started accumulating on the inside of that dome, and they clogged it up, and they're actually lighter than water, so they were making the dome buoyant. And that's a very bad thing, because then they had to set it over to the side, and now they had to step back a little bit and figure out, okay, how do we unclog this thing? How do we take care of these crystals? And then, how do we pump it out of there?
So, David, listen, this was supposed to be the quickest option, the one that would help the fastest. Is it back to the drawing board now, or does BP have any other options?
It's not completely back to the drawing board. They're looking at a couple of options that will help them pass the problem they have now. Using that containment dome is still their first, best, and fastest way to try and stem the flow of some of this oil. They've got a couple of other ideas in the wings, but that could take weeks, and every day we're having 5,000 barrels of oil pour out into the Gulf of Mexico. This was their first best idea, and they're not ready to give up on it just yet.
All right, David Mattingly, obviously you're in an active harbor tonight. You can hear either workers going out or coming in. Thank you very much for that, David Mattingly, Venice, Louisiana. And one more thing we want to tell you about in this story tonight. Evidence of the oil spill appears to have arrived on Alabama's doorstep already. The Coast Guard says tar balls found today on Dauphin Island are most likely from that spill. Dauphin Island is at the mouth of Mobile Bay.